Hey guys, so for those of you who don't know me, again, let me introduce myself. My name is Richard AC, and so I started back in internet marketing back around 1999, 2000, back when you had the Dan Kennedys emerging, the John Reeses, the Ryan Dyes. Back then, actually, I got my internet marketing start with Curry Ruddle. For those of you who would have been here for a while, you've been online for a while, you might have known Curry Ruddle. Curry Ruddle was an extraordinary young guy who started to make millions online before you had social media, before people even knew you could actually earn an income or earn a living from the internet. Back then, it was still considered like a work from home opportunity, just to give you an idea of how long that has been. And so that's where I got my start. Back then, you would order the Internet Marketing Center course on internet marketing. It would come in folders at your at your doorpost, and the mailman would bring that to you, and you would have to sit down to actually devour all of that. It was amazing, and that's how I started to get interested in marketing online and seeing how one could use your passion, your hobbies, or your expertise, and see how you can use that online to. Back then in the day, it was just sort of like to make some extra money, but today this is something that you can actually do full time, and you have digital marketing agencies that exist now you can go to university and actually get a degree with this, because it's now a skill that has been recognized by all. And I'll talk more about that later anyway. But married now since 2003, July of 2003. I have 4 kids. Married to the most extraordinary wife on the face of this planet, who allows me to do a lot of things, and who has an incredible heart for God, an incredible heart for marriage, and who has a heart for others, and allowing me to do what I do, because I'm also a full-time minister. I travel a lot, maybe 3 months or so of the year, sometimes 4, and who stays back and manages the 4 kids and does that with so much dexterity. It's something to really celebrate. So I'm really grateful to be able to have such a family that God has blessed me with, and I really hope that I can continue to live up to their expectation in everything that I do and in everything that I am. So what I do with digital marketing, I've decided to come back into the field to really help out the beginners, to help out those who are still struggling, those who are stuck, those who are not getting results, those who are still suffering from the shiny object syndrome, those who don't have clarity. And I've talked to a lot of young entrepreneurs, some older entrepreneurs, and who they have the motivation, they have the desire, they just don't have the mindset. They don't just have the proper frame of mind to be able to succeed online. And no matter what they do, no matter what course they buy, they just can't get past their self-sabotage habits and mechanisms. And that is sort of why I'm also coming back to be able to address that, to be able to help some of these younger, when I say younger, I'm not talking about in age, I'm just talking about an experience online, and who fall for every scam, and who fall for every well-crafted copy sales letter. And beyond that, I also love to inspire, encourage, and witness change in people. And part of what I do full time is I get to travel in a lot of the different French-speaking territories. I'm French, well, not French, but I'm Francophone, so I speak French as well fluently, just as I speak English. And so part of what I do as a full-time minister is I do travel a lot in the French-speaking territories, and to see lives changed, to see God move and touch leaders, and God move and touch communities and families. There's nothing like it. And part of why I'm also looking to help in the digital marketing field is, number one, not only to start to consult again and bring some of my experience back on the table, and also at the same time be able to earn a living from this, and be able to just add value to people's lives. And it's something that I've been doing for a while, but ever since I've been full-time in the ministry, I've not had the time to really dedicate myself to the development of that particular aspect of what I've been doing for years now. And in another video, I talk about my journey as a businessman and different things I would have learned over the years. And all of these things are available that I have put in place, I've implemented, and I've seen the results. And I want now to be able to give back. And with some of the money generated from my consulting services, from my help, from my products, it also helps me to be able to help those and encourage those who are in really, really desperate situations. You have people in Africa, for example. I'm originally from Cameroon, but I travel all across some of the French-speaking territories in Africa, and you have people out there who are really suffering, who are brilliant. They have ideas, they have all kinds of plans, but they just lack. Sometimes it's just like $500, $200, and these people can be not only a source of hope and provision for their family, but for the community as a whole. They can be a source of inspiration for the younger folks who are going to school, and they're going to school in despair because they know that after that they're not going to get any job, because there is no job market in some of these countries. And to be able to generate income with what I do, to be able to give back to those areas, is something that is more gratifying, that is even hard to explain. So that's a little bit about me. And so I want to be able to talk to you today about the death of the squeeze page. Now, as you know, everything that you do has to do now with, you've heard all across and all around you about the sales funnel. You need to have a sales funnel, and the entry page, or the entry door to the sales funnel, is what is commonly known as the squeeze page. Now, the reason why I say that this is the death of the squeeze page is because it is the end of that particular era. Let me explain why. Because up till now, the way people have dealt with the issue of bringing traffic to one's page, and having people come in who are targeted leads, that's exactly the problem. Is even in the terminology, these are leads. These are it's almost as if you're talking about people who are not people, who are not even human. They're just leads walking around with wallets. These are regular folks who have families, who have jobs, who have problems, and who are looking for solutions. And until we start treating them as such, our conversion rates are going to continue to plummet, because these people now know that they're being treated as leads, and that they're being treated as they're putting the carrot in front of the stick, they're giving them bait. But since they're so desperate, they're going to do it anyway. But if they had their choice, they would find that and look for that solution elsewhere. And this is what is happening now. And with time, you're going to see the conversion rates of these landing pages continue to just drop. And that whole issue of squeezing a page, when you think about it, it's like the lead is there to be squeezed. Even that language, there's something wrong with that particular language. But there's a new movement that is coming up right now. And this new movement has to do with what I call relational marketing. Relational marketing is a term that I want to coin to sort of explain what I would consider marketing with humanity, bringing humanity back to marketing. In other words, you want to start dealing with people like they were really people. You want to start being honest. You want to start being transparent. You want to start being authentic. You want to start being real. You want to start, really dealing with them like they're seeing you face to face, like they know you, not like they're just interacting with a page, but they're interacting with you. It would change the whole philosophy behind how we do business and how marketing is going to be done in the future. I mean, when you think about it, today, there's never been a louder cry for authenticity than there is today. Everybody wants something real. Nobody wants, fake stuff. Nobody wants superficial stuff. Everybody wants something that's real. And the more real you are, the more people are going to, really appreciate you. So that whole issue of squeeze page, it's like you're taking something and you're squeezing all you can get out of it. There's nothing nice about squeezing, I mean, it's not something that you want to do to a human being. And so I have a problem with that whole terminology of a squeeze page. I prefer landing page, of course, where a client comes and lands. And a client, when you talk about client and customer, these are also very subtle differences. A customer is just somebody who can come and go. It's a person that is almost dispensable. But a client there's a sort of respect, there's a sort of consideration to a person that you call a client. And if you start relating to people as clients, people that you want to build relationship with, people that you want their children to build relationship with you want them to be a part of of your network, then you really, really are going to be standing out from the crowd, because everybody out there is just looking to get as many leads as possible and not build relationships. You can have 100 people in your list, on your email list, and you've heard that the email list online is everything. You can have 100 people on your list, and if 80 of these 100 people relate to you like what I'm describing to you as, real people, who know who you are and you care for them. It's not just your autoresponder talking to them, but you have other platforms or other tactics or things that you've put in place to reach out to them, to talk to them, to exchange with them. You will be surprised at the conversion rate. And trust me, there are already marketers who are practicing this right now, but they're not part of mainstream. They're not part of mainstream, but they're out there and they're doing it. So that whole thing about squeeze page is an issue that we have to deal with. Now, for those of you who don't know what a squeeze page is, this is typically what it looks like. Okay, it's one of those pages where you have some kind of claim, you have some kind of free gift, you have some kind of. I took something that was outrageous out here just to put you out there, because the objective is just to get you to sign up and to see what's on the other side. So it's to create curiosity, it's to grab your attention. But nowadays, most people, when you go there, and some of you've done it before. I know I've done it. You get on a page like this, you're probably curious, you want to know what's going on the other side. And what do? You go to Yelp Mail or any of these, mail services that allow you to create fake emails, and then you put a fake email and you put it in there just to get to the other side of the page. So you're not really walking around and saying, what email list can I join today? No, that's not what you're doing. You're looking for information. You're looking for a solution to your problem. And somebody who can address you with that kind of care, with that kind of concern, and who takes, you and who treats you as a human being, and who treats you like somebody that he wants to really build a relationship with, you're going to consider that person a lot differently. And the future is for people who are going to understand what relational marketing is. And those who understand what relational marketing is are going to be able to not only make a fortune, but they're going to change the industry completely. The power of being you, the power of being just authentic, the power of just being, of just doing what you got to do, and that's why people like Gary Vee and all these guys coming out, that's why they have such a following, because there is no front, there is no pretend, there is no trying to be somebody else. That's just being you. And being you, there is a market for you, and you are the new ink. You are the new ink. You are the new company. It's all about personal branding. This is what social media has brought now. And any company that does not, or organization or individual or small business that does not understand the power of personal branding today and relational marketing is not going to survive in the next phase of marketing that is coming. And this is about to explode. I'm talking about podcasts. I'm talking about, video marketing is, you're not late to the game. This thing is still going to be able to take you to other levels. Back in the day, marketing was a skill that you had to just hone, and it was all about like the capacity to project an image in somebody's mind through the use of words. You had some amazing copywriters in the past. For example, check this out. You had this particular copywriter who wrote this ad, and he was trying to sell a Rolls Royce, right? And he said, at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in this Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. I mean, you listen to that. I mean, back then it wasn't, TVs when there were no flat screen TVs. There were no like Samsung and Panasonic and all these different brands. All you had was radio. So you had to be able to craft, your words in such a way that it would create a sensation. It would create an image. It would create something that would allow you to sort of like almost see yourself driving the Rolls Royce. So he says, at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in this Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. And you can almost picture that, like the silence of the ride, like no sound. And the only thing you can hear, not even the tires, is just. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. So that's what, marketing was all about. It was about, copywriting and being able to convey, what it was, what a product was, to give you, to activate all of your senses, your touch, your imagination, your smell and everything. And that is what marketing was. But with time, marketing started becoming, something where people saw that, there was money in marketing. And if you've seen some of these like TV series, that talk about back then what marketing used to be, and you're amazed at some of the contracts that were signed back then, because people knew the power of marketing, and to work in a marketing agency was a big deal, because that was like working in a bank back then, because that was the bank. And but with time, people started to discover, the power of marketing, and now it started to invade radio, television, print, and now the price of a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl game. I mean, how outrageously expensive an ad costs. For 30 seconds on Super Bowl night, and people are paying that because they know the value of reaching an audience with a message like that. So, so marketing has evolved over the years, and now it's become almost intrusive. That's why I was talking about the whole issue of relational marketing, because today everything is very intrusive. You're watching your TV and then there's an ad that comes and you have to pause before you continue your movie, and everywhere you go there's an ad. You're watching a YouTube video, there's an ad. Everything is intrusive, and if we don't wake up and don't stand out from the crowd as those who want to now start bringing humanity back into marketing, we're going to miss out on the next wave. So now it's more like, everybody's like, you know what, I'm going to find a way to just block your ad. I don't want your landing page. I don't want your emails. I don't want any of that stuff. I mean, it still produces results. I mean, people have tested and it produces results, but it's one of those things where, people, if you use the regular marketing techniques that are out there, I'm not saying those things are bad. What I'm saying is that the spirit behind, the intention and the motivation behind, people are starting to smell that a mile away. You can come with all the sleek and the smooth messages that you want, but people will smell you from miles away and know that, oh, this man is after my wallet. He wants something. But somebody who is genuinely interested in you, you're not going to be blocking his ad. You're not going to be blocking his emails. You're going to be looking forward to that information. Okay, so that's why it has developed into an era where people are just looking for free stuff. Everybody just wants free stuff, and if you can't get free stuff, then it's not interesting. So now, because people are like, you know what, everything is a scam, so I don't want to pay for anything because everything, it's a front. So I just want my free stuff. So we live in that era where, everybody wants free stuff, but the problem is it creates a certain mentality. Nobody wants to commit. Nobody wants to be able to to actually do something about it. Nobody wants to be able to confront this issue, and so this free stuff mentality is polluting the marketplace because there is no trust, there is no authenticity. So people don't really want to commit to anything, and just to give you an illustration of how this free stuff has changed even the way people relate with your message, with your products. And you need to be aware of that before you go into the marketplace, because if you don't know these things, then you're going to be wondering, but why even I'm giving this stuff free, nobody's taking it. I mean, people will get free stuff, but sometimes the fact that they're getting free stuff from you doesn't mean that they actually appreciate your stuff. So you're giving away a free report. They're putting in a free a fake email address, knowing full well that you just want to get a report that they probably wouldn't even read anyway. So people love free stuff, but it has created a mentality where it's like, I get your free stuff and I throw it away. I get your free stuff and I just throw it away. I just want to get free stuff, but I don't really care for the stuff that I'm having. So you understand what I'm saying? It's like people don't really value stuff anymore. So I want to give you an example of me living here in Geneva, Switzerland. I don't know how it is in New York or elsewhere, but if you're taking public transportation, you have this thing where nobody wants to interact with anybody. Everybody's like, doing their own thing, because relations, communications, interaction has left, our society, and we are like, a bunch of, electrons just moving around and not interacting with each other. And how do you expect to be able to sell to people if you don't know who they are? You want to be able to meet their needs. You want to be able to solve their problems and bring them solutions. But how can you do that if you cannot interact with them? And that's part of of the problem we're facing right now. So people are not interacting with each other. So we need to create platforms that allow for us to interact with our clients, for us to interact with the people, with our audience, and the people we want to reach. And if we can break that ice, then we can really make a difference and a massive impact in whatever product or service that we have to offer. So this whole thing about no communication, no interaction, sometimes even free money doesn't work. For example, we did an experiment here in Geneva, and we went out to the streets and we literally took out $100 bills, 100 Swiss franc bills, because here in Geneva we use the Swiss franc, which is 1 Swiss franc is about $1, maybe 5 cents, $1.10 at the moment, or less. It just fluctuates, it varies. And so we took out $100, dollars or 100 Swiss francs, whichever one works for you, and we started to hand them out to complete strangers. Listen, people were turning down $100 bills, 100 Swiss franc bills. They're like, nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. And we're like, but wait, we're giving free money away, and people were running scared, and they were even more skeptical. Like, what do you want? Is that a trap? Is that real money? Is that counterfeit? What is that? It was such a funny experience. And so you had 1 or 2 people, who eventually would take the money, and then we have to run back to them and say, you know what? Hey, it's just social experiment. Can we have 100 Swiss francs back? But just we wanted to prove a point that this is the society in which we live, and that's the market in which you're going to sell your product or service. So you need to be aware of the state of affairs, because if you don't know that, then you won't realize, and you end up completely frustrated, confused, and wondering why nothing works. That's why I said squeeze pages are dying, because I'm attacking the philosophy. I'm attacking the whole issue of, let's just get these people to land on our page, and then what? And that's the problem. Most people focus on the funnel. The funnel is not just about building a very sophisticated, funnel for people to come in and you upsell and you downsell them and then one-time offer them. But behind all of that, what does your funnel look like in terms of emails, in terms of building relationship? What does your funnel look like then? Is there any element of relational marketing there? Are you providing value to those people in your email sequences? I personally think the funnel focus should be more on after the person has actually landed on your landing page. It is now in your mailing list. That's where all of the focus should be. 2 skills: copywriting, email marketing. Copywriting, email marketing. You get that, you're fine. Because with copywriting, what you do is you are able to identify your client's pain points, his problems or her problems, and bring some very specific solutions in words that he can relate to. You're speaking his language. You know the words that he needs to hear. You know the words that will encourage him. You know the words that are going to unlock him to be able to relate with you, so that you can start providing value. But nowadays, we don't think about these things anymore, because we're just thinking about me winning the sale, and we're not thinking about a win-win and a very fair relationship. Because back in the day, we had the barter system. That was, I'm a carpenter, you were a fisherman. I'll bring you a table and a chair, and you give me some fish. And as I give you my plate, my table, and my chair that I made, you give me your fish, and I eat. So I provide value to you, and you provide value in return. And this is no different from what we are supposed and we have to experience here in the online space today. You still need to provide value. The barter system is still valid today, and people are literally saying, I just want you to care about me. That's really what the cry is. People just want you to care about them. And in everything that they do, if you can respond to that cry, I just want you to care about me. Listen, I've done consulting with in different phases, in different domains. I've done consulting in marriages, restoring broken marriages. I've done consulting with businessmen. I've done consulting with solopreneurs. I've done consulting with nutrition specialists, with fitness trainers. And at the end of the day, it's not the technical stuff. I'm always amazed. It's the personal stuff. It's like, do you care about me? Oh, I'm so touched that you care about me. You're actually listening to me. That's the bottom line. Everybody wants to be listened to. And if you think about it, when you go to a party, when you go to a place where, let's say, your friend invites you to a birthday party or anywhere else for that matter, and tells you, hey, listen, there's a cool party this evening. Why don't you come with me, and we're going to meet some new people. When you go out there, the people you remember the most and the people you connect with the most are not the people who are talking the most. The people you remember and the people you connect with are those who took interest in you, those who were listening to you, and those who were asking questions about who you were, what you did, how you got there, what your story was. Those are the people you remember. You don't remember the blabbermouths. And so if you can instill and implement this in your business, and understand that the marketplace is saying, I just want you to care about me, you're going to change the way business is done. And that is why it's very important for you to be very, very authentic. Be fearlessly authentic. Be you. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't try to be the next YouTube marketer that you saw and you're like, I'm going to be like him. Or the internet marketer that you saw, I want to be like him. I want to do like him. Be you. There's an audience for you. There's an audience for your authenticity, because you are unique and you have something unique to bring to the table. So you could take the exact same thing that somebody else is doing online, and you bring your own personality, you bring your own a flavor to it, to the whole thing, and that would be you. That's just who you are. So it's very important to understand these concepts. The market is looking for authenticity. So give the market authenticity. The market is tired of phoniness, of the superficial lies and the manipulation and the hype. The market is tired of that. They want authentic and real people. And if you can bring that to the market will respond to you favorably. And this particular industry, the internet marketing industry, is growing by leaps and bounds. And, now you can go to university, you can get, a master's in digital marketing, you can get a bachelor in digital marketing, because it's starting to be recognized. Back in the beginning of this video, I was telling you that, back when I started, it was just, oh, you have a hobby. Oh, you're doing eBay stuff. Oh, so if you dared say you did eBay, what that meant was, oh, you're taking stuff from your garage and the extra stuff that you can't get rid of, and you're selling it on eBay. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I have a real job, so maybe you should go get a real job as well. But now this is not the case. Now you have complete, masters, bachelor's curriculums, because people have now recognized that the world is going digital, and the digital gap is being bridged more and more between the north and the south of the hemisphere. And it's just the beginning. It's still set to explode. I mean, the e-commerce industry, that's why you see everywhere everybody's talking about drop shipping. This is just the beginning. You're not late to the game. There's going to be more players in the field. They're going to come up with more innovative products, more platforms to allow for more global trade, and millions are going to be made even faster. So you are standing exactly where you need to stand. But what I want to really instill in you is not just like the get rich quick mentality. I want to instill in you the capacity to have the mentality, the mindset to build value over a long period of time. And when you do that, you understand the power of providing value first. And that changes the whole mentality of the squeeze page. If you find a way to provide value first, and I'm not just talking about some rehashed ebook or some rehashed product and you say, oh, this is value. No, I'm talking about real value where the customer or the client is going to go back and say, wow, this guy just over delivered and he's giving this for free. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I mean, this guy is real. I want to find out more about him. And then you start to attract people and people start banging your door looking for you. And you literally have to start turning people down and say, you know what? I don't have time. I can't talk to you. I can't see you because it's not you don't want, but it's just that you're just overwhelmed. Now, imagine being in that place where you have provided value. It has cost you to actually bring that value and give it to your audience or give it to your clients for free. But in doing that, you gain instant trust when you provide value first. This is very important. If you understand anything in all of what I've said right now, shift your whole business and provide value first. And in providing value first, you gain instant trust. And when people trust you, they know you, they will buy from you. Okay? And so that is how you're going to get people on your list. And if you've been online long enough, you know that having a list is the key to freedom. And if you have a list of people who buy your products, who like your products, who like you, because that's the key. People must know, like, and trust you. And if you have people who really, really know you, like you, trust you, then these people will buy from you. Okay? So that's the end of session 1. Now let's look at session 2 of the death of the squeeze page. Now, I was talking about the fact that people are real. You know, you need to be able to look and imagine that the guy who's coming to your landing page, this guy is probably a father with kids and a wife, and he's looking for something. Or this woman or whoever who's coming on your landing page, it's a girl, it's a woman, it's somebody's child, somebody's sister. It could be your sister, could be your mother, could be your brother, could be your uncle, could be your aunt. How then do you want to treat that lead? What kind of experience do you want them to have? And if you start to answer these questions, once you've identified who your client avatar is, then believe me, you will stand out from the crowd. You will literally stand out from the internet marketing crowd because you're going to be so different that from miles away, people are going to see how bright you are and how, not that you know everything, not that you're better than everybody else, but you're just unique. And people are afraid to be unique these days. They're afraid to be authentic. But I have a challenge for you. Dare to be you. Dare to be you. That's why I was talking about people like Gary Vee, really having an impact right now in the internet marketing space, because these guys are starting to come out. I mean, he uses a language that may be offensive for some of you, but he's being him. And in being him, he is putting himself out there. He's talking about his experience, talking about what he has learned. He's talking about what he's had to work. He's talking about things that people only think in their minds. And he is like, there's a lot of people out there like Gary Vee. They really are very talented, very knowledgeable. But it's just that he took an approach where he's like, you know what? I'm going to put it all out there. And he's like, this is social media, so I might as well just put it out there. I might as well just be naked. And that thing has, put him on stage in front of millions and millions of people. And now he's become a major influencer in that particular field. And everybody, if you just type in Gary Vee, Vaynerchuk online, and you're going to see everybody now knows that they want to follow him. I mean, he has massive following. They're paying tens of thousands just to have a session with him. Why? Because he's given so much value for free that now people start to know him. Not only do they know him, they like him. Even those who don't like him, they know who he is, and he has nothing to hide. So they end up trusting the guy, and that is how you build trust. Okay, you have to build trust. There is no way around this. This is not about like how do I get traffic to go quickly on ClickBank and get this offer because I see this guy, he's making like $400 a day, and all he does is just drive traffic and gets leads, and he's just making a killing. Listen, you can do that for a while, but after a while you're going to realize that this is not even sustainable. And it could give you some money that can really help you. But in the long run, if you're looking to build an online empire, you're looking to really transition from one way of living to another. You want something that's going to be sustainable, recurring income, something where, if Facebook disappears, if Google disappears, if whatever disappears, you're still going to be standing there. The new ink is you. You are the new ink. You are ink incorporated, if I can use that word, because you are the new brand. And you need to understand that once you build an audience, once you build a following, once you build people who know, like, and trust you, it doesn't matter what Facebook or Google does to change the traffic rules. You always have traffic. You always have an email list, because an email list, there are no traffic or Google slaps. There are no Facebook algorithm changes. It's just people who want to relate with you. That's what it is. So don't come into internet marketing and try to be like the oily sales guy, like, hey, you want to make some money online? Hey, I got a deal for you. Don't do that. Just, be real. Don't try to be who you're not. Try to come out. Even if you're struggling with something and you have to appear vulnerable, then do so. Appear vulnerable, and people will actually relate to you even better because they see vulnerability in you and they can relate to that. And if you can have people relate to you, then you have happy clients, and happy clients increase your conversions. And when you have conversions, then you have more profit. Then you have happy clients and you have happy you, and it's a win-win. We're back to the barter system when everybody comes out a winner. So be real. Don't try to be phony, okay? Don't try to sound too corporate like, hi, this is Richard AC and I'm part of, I'm Richard AC. I told you who I was. Those of you who are already relating with me, you know who I am, very down to earth. And, and in the other videos, I'm going to be doing some more videos where you can see my face, where we can, you can see that I'm a real person and so forth. But I just wanted to put out some of these videos just to explain a little bit of what I am perceiving in the internet marketing space today, and especially for you, the newbie, or you, the beginner, just spinning your wheels about every tactic. Do this, try that, Shopify here, drop shipping here, Amazon affiliate or FBA, whatever, CPA, or all these different offers that are out there. You want to be able to have like a website that is very, very, very relational, and that takes that client of yours through a relational funnel. How about that? A relational funnel where the person comes, hi, my name is Richard and I'm here for you. There is no squeeze page. And then at the bottom of the page, next. And they go to the next page like, oh, they don't ask me for my email address. What's going on? And I know you're probably telling me, oh, you think I'm going to send traffic to a page that doesn't have the opportunity to be able to get their email address? Well, test it out, because I've built pages where people land on the page and the copy is enticing in such a way that they just want to go to the next page, the next page, the next page. They keep reading. If they've read your page 1 and they've read your page 2 and they've read your page 3, if you ask them for your email, for their email address on page 4, guess what? You have a higher chance of getting a real email, and you actually increase the level of targetedness, if I can use that word. You increase the level of the client you're bringing on board. That person who's signing up wants to sign up. He's not been tricked into signing up into a squeeze page. He wants to sign up. He wants to receive your emails. He was going to go and do whitelisting. So if you don't believe me, go out and test that out and see the result you get. and you will be surprised. And you have references in the internet marketing world who've talked about this before, and they're talking about bringing back the respect and the care. And Seth Godin, who talks about permission marketing, talks about turning strangers into friends and friends into customers. I prefer clients, but anyway, it's the same idea. So that's where we are going today. We are going towards a place where we are going to be going back to relational marketing, going back to respect, going back to treating people like they were human beings. So don't look for the quick fix. Go out there, do the work, be focused, and do not succumb to the shiny object syndrome. Okay? The shiny object syndrome, again, is that thing where you are running up and down after you're probably on like 22,000 different money-making email lists because you sign up for everything that comes out that's shiny. Don't do that. Just focus on one thing. Is it going to be Shopify? Focus on that. Is it going to be drop shipping? Focus on that. Is it going to be network marketing? Focus on that. Is it going to be blogging? Focus on that. Is it going to be YouTube video marketing? Focus on that. Whatever it is that you're doing, just stick with it for like 60 days nonstop. Just do that. And believe me, you'll see results. Okay? Hope this has been helpful. Talk to you guys later.